up, you guys? So this video is about the potential market crash. Will it happen or not? My thoughts on that, and how you can leave rent or mortgage free to avoid the potential market crash. Now, what is a market crash? It's pretty much when you buy the house for the 700,000 and it goes down to the price to the 400,000, and even if you will sell it, you will still owe money to the bank. That happened in 2007, 2008. That's currently happening in some areas of United States, I believe. I know people who bought the multifamily properties for say a couple hundred millions, and now they want to sell for the little less than they were paid for it. But the problem is, even if they will sell it, it will not cover the loan. Multifamily is one area where it could happen. Personally, I don't think it's going to be a huge risk, because people who are buying multifamily properties, most of the times those are professional investors. Not a single American average Joe would be able to go and buy a multifamily property. Why it would not happen to the average consumer is that we do not have enough houses. Now, might sound strange because everybody's building the houses. We are not having crazy population growth. We do have population growth, but it's nothing crazy like in Middle East or some parts of India. Although the population is growing, we still build some properties, but it's not as much to meet the demand. Now, personally, I think that's number one reason why there would not be a market crash. However, it's always good to be prepared, and I'm going to share some strategies that I managed to learn over the time while I was in the real estate business. Some of them are just a theory, some of them are the thoughts that I've heard from different people, and some of them are the very implementable ideas that I implement myself in my real life. If you haven't heard about the house hacking, just Google it. It's pretty much when you get the big house, you can buy it, you can rent it, and say it's a 3-bedroom house, you rent 2 rooms and live in one. That's called house hacking. Most of the time, those 2 guys living in those separate 2 rooms will be paying your mortgage / rent, and you are going to get a free house. Another thing, that if you are buying a property, recently there are like a bunch of state programs that are going to help you with a down payment. Obviously, you still have to have some money, you have to have a good credit score, but if you're using one of those programs, you're pretty much getting a free house, and it would be not smart not to use it. Airbnb would be another thing I would recommend. Say you have a big house, you can just lease a part of it on Airbnb and disconnect it from the main house. And most of the times what would happen, it would cover the payments for the main house. There are some obstacles like legislation, most people are banning them. You have to know how to really use platform, otherwise you would get squatters, which happened. If you haven't heard about it, there were like lots of squatters recently staying in different properties, some of them for I believe months, and people lost money, and it was a crazy situation. So you really have to know what you're doing, otherwise you will get first-time home buyers programs where you can just do the lower down payment and leverage other people's money, borrow down payment or from your friends, family, and sublease a part of the house. This way you still live for free. I've heard people renting the house and living in garage. That's one of the strategies. Now, the smartest one, and I personally would love to do it myself, but I was not able to, is to buy the bigger property, multifamily, to rent 3 houses. Say it's a quadruplex and live in one, or it's a triplex or triplex, you rent 2 properties and rent in one. So what happens in this type of situations, you're going to live for free, or you're going to also get some kind of cash flow.
Thank you for watching, and I would like to mention that this video is sponsored by my company. We help landlords to maximize their rental income. Normally we take the property, say it's been rented for $3,000, we'll help landlord to make about $5,000 and charge about 10% from the profits. This is what we do. If you guys interested, if you're a landlord and looking for that company that would help you with getting more rent, just letting you guys know, I'm also a realtor in California. Any part of California you're looking for real estate property for yourself, live with a family, or for investment, I'm your guy. Feel free to hit me up in the DM.
Other thing is to build an ADU. If you don't know, ADU is additional dwelling unit, also known as casitas, a detached house, DADU, that's what they recently started to call it. And you rent that house, you live in the main house. It's pretty much going to cover half, or sometimes in some cases the whole of your mortgage, and you're getting to use to live for free. Now, this is really weird. I found it on one of the websites. There used to be a website called Couchsurfing. It's pretty much what we random people renting for free their couches in the living room. Personally, I think not only it's weird, but it's not really doable, because I mean, how long you're going to use someone's couch? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Sleep in public places, that was another advice that I found online. Obviously, you don't want to get homeless. I would not do that, but people do recommend it. Live with your parents. Personally, I think this is an ideal situation. If your parents own the house, just live with them. You're going to be the rent free, and you can use that money later on for the down payments. It's smart to buy a house today than to plan for tomorrow. Why? Because inevitably all the properties all over the world will go up in prices. The United States economy is based on the United States dollar, which government can print as much as they want it to. And guess what happens? If something is growing in amount, the other part is not growing as that fast. Obviously, that thing that is growing more will be cheaper than the thing that is growing less, which means the houses will be more expensive and the United States dollar will be less expensive. Another strategy is definitely something that you should do if you have enough money, enough cash. Buy 2 houses in the cheap area. Instead of buying 1 house in a good area, buy 2 houses in a cheap area. Eventually those houses will go up in prices. So you buy 2 houses, one is 400,000, another one is 400,000. Eventually they will be, and I guarantee you it will happen sooner or later, probably later than sooner, but it will happen, 800,000 in prices. And whenever they will reach that mark, and it will go upper, it will go even higher, but I'm talking about like 10 years. That's the average statistics when the properties double up in prices. You can just sell one and pay another one with the amount you gained. Not only you're cash flowing, if you're doing the right thing, you can rent them. If you are looking for the property to be rented and over the market price, feel free to contact our team. And also you would get a free house when you will sell one of the houses you got. Now, it's really important to buy the right house. If you're buying the property somewhere where people use drugs all day, there's like crazy crimes happening, obviously no one would want to rent it. There are still some areas that people will still rent it, even if there will be a crazy crime. But I would personally be very careful with my investments, especially with a property. Most of the time, it's the biggest investment that people do. Make sure you're buying in the right place. Feel free to DM us for the free consultation. Also, another strategy that I have to mention, and it was recently very popular, is Saptu. Now, if you don't know what that means, is like current rates are around, I believe, 7-8%. For the mortgage rates, but about 3-4 years ago it was around 2.5-3%. Most of my properties that I got under mortgage were around those rates. Obviously, if you save on rates, you save huge on the mortgage payments. Somewhere around, say you got an average house in California is around, say, 800,000 right now. You get a 2.5 rate, you would get at least $400 less in the monthly payments than if you would get in the higher rate. So what people do, they go to the people who want to sell their properties, who suddenly passed away or something happened, divorce, and they offer them, hey, I'll take over the mortgage and I pay you like whatever you would get if you would sell your house. This way you get to keep the lower rate, and it's win-win situation for everyone. It's really little harder to do, and also I believe you miss some tax benefits there. But overall, if you want to save on the rates, that's the ideal strategy. Also, I want to mention that some people saying that, especially Dave Ramsey fans, it's not good to go get a mortgage. You pretty much end up making banks richer. I want to tell you something, guys. I don't know if you pay attention to this or not. In almost every state, even if you own a home, you're described as a tenant. Technically, government owns all the land. You don't pretty much, quote unquote, own it. Because if there would be a certain circumstances like a war, or there will be a strategic railroad, there's a law called Eminent Domain where the government can come and tell you, hey, you have to sell this land, we can offer this much and this much, and you can negotiate probably, but you would have to end up selling that property. Keep in mind that in the United States, personally, I think that any property is not a property as we see it. It's a financial tool. Every property is a financial tool, and if you use it smartly, you benefit from it. If you would not use it smartly, you would probably lose money, you lose your time and energy. Make sure to do the proper planning, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one, and make sure to put the like button. It's really time consuming and hard to make this video, guys. I really try to deliver my best and share my experience. I hope you would appreciate that. Thank you.